Hello, friends and fellow bloomers. Welcome back to the Blooming Together podcast. It feels really good to say that. It feels like it's been a minute. Okay, 3 months. So, yeah, it went by really, really fast. But this is the first official day of my summer break, and I am determined to get back at this. And as promised, here I am. Here's to new beginnings, and like the title of this episode suggests, we're gonna bloom on. Just bloom on. We're moving forward. This episode I'm gonna pull from the blog post that I did back in March on momentum, and just the space and grace that we need to just go through life and grow through life. And sometimes, we need to regroup, and we just keep growing. Progress is not linear. That's another favorite thing that I've been thinking about lately. It's not. It's up and down and moves all around. And yeah, I have a picture that I used for that very thing. I got the idea from a wonderful artist, and I wanted to purchase her drawing on Etsy, but for some reason she wasn't shipping to the United States. I think she's from Australia, but I took her idea and created my own from her wonderful idea, but I loved it. And 1 second, here it is. Progress is not linear. This is where, sometimes we're up, and I've been feeling like I've been here, but I feel like I'm right here today. And that's great. I think, I don't know, I really like this. So progress is not linear, and, life isn't a straight line. It's just, we're all over the place. But recently I've had the opportunity to think a lot about life and just regrouping. And I have a couple of people near and dear that are struggling with health problems and challenges and issues. And another friend passed away recently, and just really makes you think about enjoying life and just to keep blooming. But we can help each other and support each other in that. So apparently it wasn't just a March thing, because that's how I started the blog. Maybe it's a March thing. And just feeling less motivated and inconsistent, slower and sluggish, and just not all that gung-ho about anything. But apparently it was an April and May thing as well. But during unpredictable periods, it's perfectly okay to take that time and give ourselves that grace to recalibrate and just pick a new path, pivot, do what we need to do to keep growing and blooming. Dr. Shanti Meadows says movement is crucial for sustained momentum. Yeah, that's definitely something that I've discovered. Action definitely changes things. Act, do. Apathy is fueled by inaction, or inaction fuels apathy and just the not caring. So it is good, even if we're going to take a small action in something and do some small thing, it's better than not doing anything at all. But you know what? Sometimes we feel that way too. I've had a few days where it's like you just don't feel like doing anything. But it's good to keep doing, and it's good to keep growing the best that we can, even if it's something small. I have learned that 100%. Lately, it just felt like, I was describing it to John, my husband, that it just felt like, clouds, on a sort of overcast day when it's mostly clouds, and then suddenly the sun peeks through and it feels good, but then the clouds come over again, and then the sun peeks through, and then maybe for a few hours in the afternoon you got sun, and then the clouds come in again. That's kind of how it's been feeling. The meat of my March blog post came from an article by Manly Feinberg II, who is a professional and internationally renowned motivational speaker and rock climber. He passionately shares from his climbing experiences about the importance of a momentum mindset, or the art of the restart, as he calls it. And quoting him, our mindset shapes the way we pursue our dreams, react to challenges, and deal with obstacles. He reminds us that we are going to fall. All climbers fall. In fact, they expect to fall and they plan for it. When we plan to fall and we expect to fall, the question changes from a paralyzing fear-based if and the pressure of trying not to fall to when I fall, what will I do next? And I love that. And I'd never really thought of it quite like that before. That simple adjustment right there from if to when gives us freedom. Feinberg also reminds us that falling is not failing. When rock climbers lose their footing or grip, the belay stops their fall. Then, and quoting him again, we hang there on the wall, literally, and we work to get back. We call it working the route. We assess the situation, look for the next move we need to make, take a deep breath and a minute to recover, and then we restart as quickly as possible. We don't let this long period of time pass before we start moving upward again. Feinberg, I really hope I'm saying that right. Feinberg says that, quote, whatever your goal in life is, become aware of how you view the restart. I laughed when he mentioned how many of us, including him, practice what's called the calendar restart. Basically, it's when we're going along, doing our thing, building momentum, then life happens. And instead of getting back at it right away, we say, well, today is Tuesday, so I'll just start again on Monday. With that choice, we've given ourselves license to do absolutely nothing toward accomplishing our goals for the next 5 days. I've totally done that. Many times, too many times. Manly instructs, don't die on the wall. I love that. We would never think of lying on the sidewalk for days if we fell off of our bicycle. You know, I might. There were days when I was like, I'm just going to lay here. I'm going to lay here on the sidewalk for days. No, I'm just kidding. We get what he's saying, right? All joking aside. So why is waiting such an appropriate response to falling off of our other intentions and goals? It's a good question. He asserts that focusing on the next move is crucial. Sometimes, he says, we look so far into the future that we become overwhelmed. For sure. You know what the end goal is, but it's a move right in front of you that is throwing you off. So you have to focus on the next step and keep going. This builds a powerful momentum that will lead you to your goal. That's crucial. Everything Manly shared resonated with me 100%. We are all climbing through this life, trying so hard not to fall or fail, or at least I am. I'm trying really hard not to fall or fail, when we simply need to shift our mindset and remember that we will fall. And falling is not failing. It's simply our first attempt in learning, and we're forging ahead in life. I love those acronyms for fail. And when we fall, because we will, we need to pause, work the route, focus on our next step, and take it. And not wait until the following Monday. Don't die on the wall. No calendar restarts. Harness a momentum mindset. Mindset and momentum go hand in hand. Dr. Shanti Meadows reminds us that, quote, a strong mindset fosters the belief and determination necessary to take action, while momentum reinforces a positive mindset by providing tangible proof of progress, unquote. She further asserts, by cultivating a resilient mindset and taking continuous action, anyone can harness the synergy of mindset and momentum to achieve greatness and turn their aspirations into reality. However, and this was the part that really got to me and helped me, momentum can be fragile. It requires consistency and discipline. Disruptions or unexpected challenges can slow or halt progress. The key to maintaining momentum is to establish habits, routines, and systems that keep actions aligned with goals. Celebrating small victories along the way also reinforces commitment and sustains energy levels. Hear, hear. I 100% agree with that, Dr. Shanti. In her book, Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, Carol Dweck explains that when difficulty appears, the brain interprets it as a threat to identity, a threat. It's seen as proof that we lack ability, and self-doubt increases, motivation drops, and we quit to protect our self-image. Difficulty is interpreted as evidence of limitation, which is freaky because difficulty, come on, we're going to encounter difficulty in everything. On the other hand, a growth mindset creates persistence. A growth mindset assumes abilities can be developed through effort, learning, and strategy. Yay! When difficulty appears, then, it is seen as part of learning. Curiosity replaces fear, effort continues, and skill gradually improves. Hallelujah. The challenge becomes a signal to adapt, not a reason to quit. The brain actually changes with effort. Effort literally rewires the brain. How cool is that? A growth mindset is not just motivational. It is grounded in neuroscience. It can recognize and strengthen connections through neuroplasticity and practice. Difficulty often indicates the brain is building new connections. So here's to that. All that difficulty we're going through, it just means that our brain is making new connections. Who knew? It's fabulous, right? So we're just making new connections when everything is difficult, everything is hard. So apparently, these last couple of months, I've been making some really good connections because it's all been difficult. No, I'm just kidding. Half the time I feel like I make it difficult, but that's another podcast episode. Friends, even the idea of effort can be the next step. Remember, growth needs grace, though. We need grace. We need to give ourselves grace. We are evolving, changing, and becoming. And although I wholeheartedly agree with Manly's art of the restart, and I do not want to die on the wall, so to speak, while figuring out my next step, I believe that we can be compassionate with ourselves when our momentum wanes. This climb is rigorous, like this drawing right here. Progress is not linear, and it's not easy for anyone. We're all on this non-linear crazy journey. To fully appreciate and enjoy it, we need to grow at our own pace and allow others to do the same. So this week, friends, let's give ourselves grace and give it to others as well. Let's just keep growing the best that we can each new day and bloom on. We're in this together. Love you. See you next time.